Why has mobile programmatic been so difficult for marketers until now?
I think, well, mobile's hard, or has been hard,
right?
First off. I think the lack of a platform ID or targeting for marketers has created a lot of challenges as they enter the space.
Right.
Programmatic adds complexity to that, right? I mean, where do you want to take this? Where do you want to
go? So what's changed now? Like, how is this, the infrastructure changing? How is programmatic mobile changing now?
So for us, 75% of our traffic is in-app. And with the app ID, platform ID, it's made it a lot easier.
Right.
Obviously, device ID is key. It's a cookie of mobile, right? So that's made it a lot easier for marketers for targeting purposes. That's been a big change.
Sure. And just to be clear, are we talking specifically about in-app mobile, the mobile web, both?
Mobile web is still, so there are cookies in mobile, right? Android has cookies. iOS, still a challenge.
Right.
But we're primarily talking in-app.
Okay. So targeting is a big thing that all marketers want. I guess number one, what does that look like currently? You already talked, you said there are cookies, device IDs, things like that. But what sort of targeting is done on mobile right now?
I think I'm starting to see more sophisticated techniques in targeting. You know, your data, your first-party data, you want to find a way to activate that in mobile, yes? Our job is to make that happen. We talked about this in the prep, right? How do we connect that and activate that data for these clients? That is changing now.
Yeah.
I think the third-party data providers coming into the space for mobile with the in-app ID, and that's solving for a lot of problems. But I'm really focused on how do we activate your data on our platform.
And how do you?
How do we do that?
Yeah.
So open up your data to us, right? To your partners. I hear laughs on that, but we're partners to you for that, right? Connecting the data and activating it through device IDs, your first-party cookies. We can do that in mobile web as well. And anybody in mobile can, right? It's not just Millenial Media.
Right.
We all can.
Yeah, and there were some laughs. So is there sort of a tension there about, I guess, keeping first-party data close to the chest, not really sharing that? And if there is that tension, like, what can you say that might make them a little bit more willing to share that?
Yeah, well, there's obviously going to be a tension, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to own your data. I don't want to have it. It's your data. We're just trying to make it work for you.
Right.
It's about picking a partner that you feel comfortable with and trusted in the space to make that happen.
So if you're pulling in all these things like data, both third-party and first-party, and all of this, what is this going to do to the mobile CPM? Is this going to, raise the price in general for mobile inventory, or what?
So we have been on the platform side at Millenial Media. I came from NextAge, so now part of Millenial. We've seen, on average, a 10% increase in CPM quarter over quarter. I think we are, again, starting to see more brands coming into the space.
Right.
Our platform today, well, back up. If you look at mobile in general, probably 70% is performance, app install, CPI type campaigns in general.
Yeah.
That's going to change in the coming 2 years. I forecast it'll be 50-50 for us in 2 years' time. Naturally, that's going to have an increase in pricing.
Right.
I think we're seeing more rich media, more video. If you're not using video in mobile, do it now. And that's a really important way to, from a consumer perspective, video in mobile, pre-roll, post-roll, interstitial type units, that's going to drive up prices as well.
Right, and as native, goes into the programmatic space, is this also going into mobile? Or?
Yeah, so Jim Butler, my CTO, he wrote the initial OpenRTB spec, which is now obviously part of the IAB. We have announced support for native on the platform. Our SDK will be supporting native come July.
Okay.
All of this will have the same impact from a pricing perspective, as you noted.
Right. What would you say is the most difficult ad format for mobile to support?
Video.
Yeah. Do you find that it's just because people don't watch too much video? Because, I mean, a lot of video is pre-roll and all of that, or is there some other reason?
I think it's a technology challenge, right? You have so many vast wrappers, MRAID, all these tags that are confusing from a technology perspective. And across a variety of different publishers and buyers,
Right.
You have, square peg, round hole.
Yeah.
So that's creative challenge. So our job, my job, is to scale that and make that simpler for you. But that has been the most difficult.
What are some of the pitfalls that marketers who are starting to delve into mobile programmatic should try to avoid, or that you would advise them to avoid?
Yeah, take programmatic aside from it, and I'll just talk about mobile.
Sure.
I think surprised for me to look out and see how many brands don't have a site or an app yet. Mobile website, mobile app.
Right.
Right. That's a big surprise for me in 2015 that is still an issue. Programmatic doesn't really affect that conversation.
Right.
It's more just a mobile comment.
Okay. So when it comes to programmatic, though, are there particular things that you've seen be issues for marketers and agencies?
I think it's, again, picking the right partner and finding the right audience in the inventory. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
We're all probably familiar with that, but there's a lot of bad inventory out there as well.
And you've talked about how some marketers don't even have like a branded app or even a mobile optimized site. But those are very different. Those exist in very different ecosystems. Would you say that when it comes now specifically to programmatic on mobile, does it operate better in one than the other, in-app as opposed to on the mobile web?
In terms of performance, or how?
Yeah,
in
terms of performance.
I don't notice any specific difference, app versus web. I mean, we can do more in-app from a ad unit perspective than we can on mobile web. Done the right way, we can do more.
Yeah.
So if that increases performance, then sure, yes.
Sure. So, sorry, Sid. So is it harder to integrate into one than the other? Currently?
Well, apps can be harder,
right?
Just because you have a lot of code in the app and delivery for the units.
Right.
Mobile web's just going to be tags.
Yeah. Is there anybody that you would say is doing this particularly well?
Millenial.
Mobile programmatic. Not a provider, but a marketer or a brand.
Yeah, Ford has done some interesting things.
Yeah.
We work with Ford through DataZoo.
Yeah.
So they've done some interesting things in terms of units and execution on the platform. Target through MediaMath for us.
Okay.
Done some interesting things around the holiday time.
Yeah. What's the most interesting thing you've seen?
For Q4, it was interstitials and delivery through the platform, video included as well.
Very interesting. So some people are getting video right when it comes on mobile.
Yeah, you can get video right. It's not, again, I don't want to set expectations or conversations that video is impossible.
Right.
It's just you have to understand how the delivery is going to occur and how you're going to make that work.
So looking forward in the next few years, what are some difficulties you see arising as more and more people are doing this? Is there a problem in terms of inventory? Is there enough inventory for,
There's too much.
Programmatic to really work? Too much. Okay.
Obviously, there's a lot of inventory in mobile.
Yeah.
Right? My sell-through rate's 20% on 150, 175 billion impressions a month.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but so for us, it's how do we find buyers in other markets?
Okay.
EMEA, APAC. That's mobile programmatic out of the US. That's 2 to 3 years behind.
All right. I think we have time for a question if there is one. Nope. All right. Thank you very much.